Hi, this is 50/50, real estate podcast for the common man, where we talk about selling, buying, and investing in real estate. We aren't baffling you with BS. We're dazzling you with brilliance. We're not telling you how to become a millionaire. We're telling you stories, the truth, and the information no one is talking about. So sit back, listen, laugh, and enjoy 50/50, real estate podcast for the common man.
Hey everybody, JD here. Hope you're looking good and feeling fine. Hopefully you had a great week with friends, neighbors, relatives, and co-workers. Well, guess what? We're going to be talking about the new hot topic here, which is really not hot for me because I talked to people about this. Geez, 10, 15 years ago, I said, guess what? In the future, this is probably going to happen. Everybody thought I was out of my mind. They're like, JD, man, you're out of your mind. What are you smoking? I said, well, you just watch what's going to happen in the future, and we'll just see. Well, guess what? It's all happening. Everybody's talking about it now, and I'm yawning, going, oh, old news. But, there's an old saying, if it's news to you, it's news to us. So I guess everybody thinks this is some hot thing, and this is what everybody's talking about now. Every place I go, everybody's talking about this. Oh, it's all going to eliminate jobs, and we're all going to be working. We're all going to be sitting around getting universal income. All slugs, useless people, all sitting at home, being fat and just big slugs, depressed and with a lot of anxiety, taking medication. We'll all be zombies walking around because we will not be useless anymore. And I'm like, well, if that's the way you think about it, then I guess that's where you're going to end up. But no, it probably will never happen. It's artificial intelligence, folks, and yes, it will take some jobs, and we're going to be discussing some of the real estate jobs I think won't even exist in probably in the next 5 to 10 years. But right now, let's discuss a little bit about this artificial intelligence and real estate agents even be around. We're going to discuss that, but we're going to discuss a little bit about how technology and artificial intelligence have really, really, really helped mankind. And some people think it's evil and it's Satan and it's the coming of, the end of the world. Well, they say that almost every time something comes out that's new. Oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, run. The machines are going to take us over. Yes, it will all be slaves to the machines. And I'm like, oh, good grief, you guys, grow up. You're just watching too much science fiction movies. But here's the thing, guys. When I originally started real estate just years ago, there wasn't cell phones. There wasn't even voicemail. You had a telephone. People called, you answer the phone. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, you want to do this. You want to buy a house. You want to do this. And you conducted your business one-on-one on the phone. And if somebody called and they didn't get you, oh my God, the world wasn't going to come to the end because you called them back the following day. Now, oh my God, if you don't call me back in 5 minutes, oh no, it's terrible. This is the worst service I ever have received, and you shouldn't even be in this business because you didn't call me back within 5 minutes after I called you. Oh man, I tell you, it's crazy how impatient people have become. But when I started, there was no voicemail. You called, the phone rang. If I didn't answer it, hey, you just called me back the following day. Or later on, there was a receptionist, and the receptionist answered the phone, and they took a message. And when somebody came in the office, they hand the note to somebody. Hey, Joe called you up. He wanted to know this. Call him back. Everything was great. Then all of a sudden, Hey, the phone mate came out. I don't know if you're old. I'm kind of an old guy. The phone mate came out. Oh, new technology. Little square box. It looked like a cigar box. And it had 2 reel-to-reel tape recorders on it. And you recorded something, and you spent all day trying to get it right. And then the phone rang, and after 3 rings, it turned on this reel-to-reel recorder, and then it went beep, and you left your message on the same tape. And then you had 30 seconds or a minute, and then the thing shut off, and then the next thing it turned on, and the reel-to-reel turned on. He left your message, and that was like the big thing. Well, guess what? Now you can leave a message to somebody. So if they weren't there, you left a message. So when you came home or you went to your office, great, you had a little message and you knew who called. Oh, huge advancement, because now you can leave a message and you didn't have to call back. Then what happened is you had voicemail. Caller ID. Yeah, caller ID came out. I remember you had to get a box hooked onto your phone and you had to pay extra because you could see who called. And now you didn't have to answer your phone because you thought, oh no, here's this lister, I don't want to talk to him, so you didn't have to answer the phone. So no confrontation. Hey, you didn't have to do anything. You could just let them go to voicemail or leave a message, or maybe even call back, and you didn't have to deal with all those solicitors that called you 8 times a day. Oh no, life was terrible because you had to literally answer the phone and talk to somebody and learn how to be polite and tell them you didn't want what they were selling. Oh no, now, hey, I don't care, I don't want to deal with that. So now voicemail came to be. So that was kind of an interesting thing. And now everybody has voicemail. Now people say, yeah, but AI will take over and eliminate jobs. Okay, guys. Hey, look, it's already eliminated jobs and you're not even aware of it. First of all, how many times do you really call somebody and they answer the phone? They don't. Even at an office, usually it's a virtual assistant that says, hi, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate your call. If this is a support, please dial 1. If you want to buy this product, dial 2. If you want to know if this product even exists, dial 3. If you really want to tell us something, complaint, dial 4. And you go through this whole circus, and you want even to talk to somebody. And after about maybe 15 minutes of pushing numbers and going through this nonsense, it says, thank you. We're putting you on hold. Our next agent is available in 30 minutes. And then it plays this obnoxious music for every 30 seconds. It is, hi, thank you. Please still hold. Or we'll call you back. And then you still hold. And it plays the same obnoxious music. And then 30 seconds later, thank you for holding. Our agents are still busy. Please stay on the line. Then after half an hour or 90 minutes, some agent calls and they go, what do you need? And you tell them the problem. Oh, well, gee, we don't really have an answer to that, but we'll have one of our technical directors or support team call you back in a day or so. So now you wasted an hour, 2 hours of your time and got absolutely nowhere. And yes, that is virtual assistance, and like I said, we all come upon it every day in our lives, and we weren't even aware of it, and it took over, and we've just kind of accepted this nonsense. In real estate, I remember, geez, we didn't have computers or any animation or artificial intelligence. But when we did a property evaluation, we had to go around, look at the property, look at the neighborhood, do our research, call the police to see what the crime statistics are, do this, do that. Took us an entire day. And now, 5 minutes, we have an automated property evaluation. And I remember doing a market analysis. It took me an entire day. I had to go back, look at these telephone books with all these listings. And when we had a sold book that came, I don't even know if you even know what telephone books are, but back in the old days, the telephone books, we had to look at, I think it came out once a month, once a week, and it showed the sold comps. We had to go back, do the sold comps, write everything down, figure out a market analysis, and then present it to the seller, and it took us an entire day. Now you press a button, you bring up an address, and automatically does it. Hey, guess what, folks? Artificial intelligence, we use it every day in our life. Has it eliminated the jobs of real estate agents doing market analysis? No, it's made it way more efficient. So we do a lot more in a day, where before we were just doing one thing in a day. I remember we had to fill out contracts by hand. We didn't have any email, any scanners, nothing. We had to fill out a contract, drive all the way one part of town, have one person sign it, drive all the way to another part of town, had another person sign it. Then we had to go all the way to the broker and turn it. It took us one whole entire day just to do one transaction. Now you fill it on the computer, email it to the buyer. Buyer signs it. If there's another buyer, they sign it electronically. You shoot it over the seller. Seller signs it. Okay, you shoot it over the broker. It's a piece of cake. If both parties sign it, you send it to the title company. Piece of cake. You do stuff that used to take 2 days in maybe an hour to do it. And wow, it has saved an incredible amount of time. And it's really interesting because, like I said, everybody says, oh, this artificial intelligence, it's just going to take jobs away. They're all going to be gone. Look, is it going to take real estate brokers' jobs away? Absolutely. Guys, I'm about ready to retire. I'm semi-retired. I've been doing this for 35 years. I see the writing on the wall. We've got maybe 10 more years left if we're lucky. All our jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligence. Let me explain how. A lot of people, they don't like salesmen. A lot of people just, they don't like real estate agents, real estate brokers. I mean, some of them are, they're friends. Some people, they just say, geez, real estate brokers are pushy. They don't care. They just want to sell us a home or sell a home. They really don't want to do a lot. They really don't care about us. They just want to get the deal. And matter of fact, you see a lot of that happening because 3 years ago, everybody was overpaying for the price. They're upside down their home. They regret buying, and they say they were all pushed into a home and so on. So the realtors didn't really care. They just needed to get the deal. It was easy money. They were all basically just pushing their buyers and sellers to sell. And now a lot of, what do they say, like 65-70% of the people who bought homes the past 3 years regret buying them? Well, that's because they just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. But a lot of that had to do with just real estate agents just pushing people in and not being honest to them. But like I said, so will real estate agents' jobs disappear in the next 5 to 10 years? Absolutely. Let me tell you the reason why. Is because artificial intelligence will take over. And let's say you you go in, you want to list your home. You go over to a site, you say, here's my house, here's what it is, here's what I want. It'll go, great. What neighborhood do you live in? It'll do all the market analysis, give you a thorough market analysis, and it'll say, do you want to list your home at what price? You look at the price, you look at this, and you say, I want to list my home at this price. It'll go, great. What's included? This and this is included. Okay, it'll fill out the entire contract for you. It'll put your listing automatically in. You take a few pictures with your cell phone. Oh, that's another thing. Cell phones. Guess what? I mean, you have a cell phone now that's more powerful than anything. Geez, what, a million times more powerful than the computers that set the man in the moon. But, you can talk FaceTime anybody in the world. Years ago, you needed a multi-million-dollar television studio to do that. Now you do it on your cell phone. You email instantaneously. So writing out a letter and putting it in a mailbox and waiting a week, it's instantaneous. You text people any place in the world, and within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they get a message anywhere in the world. We're not sending letters with Pony Express anymore that takes a month before somebody gets it. So yes, AI technology has advanced and made society way better. Yeah, is it made it worse? Sure, anything used for evil is bad. And yes, no matter what. I mean, there's drugs that help us, and people abuse those too. So like I said, will real estate agents be eliminated? Yes, because like I said, you'll write the contract. It'll automatic. You take pictures with your cell phone, put some pictures. It'll put them in, send them right out to the MLS. Bingo. Buyer will look at the house. I want to see it. Call the seller, or do a virtual tour. They'll just have these glasses, and it'll be all 3D. They'll look at it and go, "Wow, this is really nice. I want to see it." They'll call the seller. The seller says, "Come on over. Yes, we'll do this, this, this." They agree. They type in to the artificial intelligence, here's what we want to offer, here's what we want to do, blah, 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 blah. Bingo, it fills out the whole state contract, because we as real estate agents, we don't practice law. We just interpret it and talk to it. That's why it says on contracts, please consult an attorney. But we kind of go through, but we're not writing contracts. We're just filling it in. The AI can do that. So then what happens is the buyer will just fill it in, send it to the seller. The seller agree with, both parties agree with it. It'll go to an escrow or closing company. They'll close it, and bingo, it's not thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars buyers and sellers will save, except paying realtors the thousands of dollars we make. And yeah, do we deserve it now? Yes, we do, because we do a ton of work. But will we deserve it when AI takes most 80% of our business, and we don't have to really do anything? No, we won't deserve it, because we'll just be replaced by AI. So like I said, it just really it kind of makes me wonder when people say, oh yes, but then what will happen? I mean, all these jobs will be eliminated. Real estate brokers will be eliminated. All these jobs will be eliminated. No, they will be eliminated, just like the 1800s, when the blacksmith used to shoe horses. Horses are gone, and automobiles came to be. And now look at the automobiles. Look at the infrastructure: concrete, asphalt jobs, mechanics jobs, designers jobs, gas stations. I mean, the whole infrastructure, because we're not riding horses, but the motor vehicles and automobiles, and how we can build big huge cities, and we have infrastructures in fresh water, and we're not all living on a farm hunting for our living and living till 45 years old and dying because we have vaccines that we've created and medical that has super advanced and x-ray machines and all that. So yeah, will artificial intelligence take jobs over? Absolutely. We'll all lose the jobs. A lot of us will be thrown to the side like the blacksmith. But there'll be thousands and millions of other jobs that are created. What will they be? I don't know. I can't see in the future. If you went back to the 1800s and said, what are the jobs in the future? They can tell you that there was computers and cell phones and automobiles and x-ray machines. None of them could do that. But there's thousands and millions of jobs that have been created through technology. So, like I said, it's really interesting about artificial intelligence because I just was trying it out. I got on one of these artificial intelligence websites, and I put in, let me do a contract, just a fake contract. And I said, here's a fake contract, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this. And it filled out the contract almost like an attorney filled it out. And I started thinking, wow, attorneys are going to be out of jobs. No, they're not. People will still sue people. There'll still be lawsuits. But attorneys can use AI to do a lot of their research and fill out contracts. Will probably bring the cost of hiring an attorney way, way down because they won't have to do all this nonsense and research and write contracts and so on. They can do kind of like what took me a whole day to do. They might be able to do it in 5 minutes, which cuts the cost down in writing contracts and representing people or legal cases. Just do artificial intelligence on legal cases, and what might take months and months to research might take a week to research. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of exciting things happening in artificial intelligence. Sure, will there be bad things? Absolutely. There's always a bad side of everything, no matter what it is. But, that's just the way life happens. There'll be a lot of good, but somebody will use it to take advantage, just like computers. I mean, computers are really, really helped people really be efficient. But do people hack, and do they steal, and do cyber crimes and steal money from people and con people? Absolutely. But like I said, there's overall computers really, really are helping humanity. I mean, if everybody was like, cyber crimes and so on, let's all throw all our computers away and go back 50 years ago, nobody's going to do that. So, they'll develop ways of stopping cyber crimes, which they'll do. But the minute they stop something, somebody will invent a different way of getting around it. So it's just the way things happening. So, like I said, will your job be eliminated? It might, folks. You might not have a job in 5 years. Artificial intelligence might take it over. But like I said, will there be way more opportunities that come out that we can't even imagine? Absolutely. Maybe the opportunities might even pay you way more than you're making now because of jobs that we can't even imagine opens up, just like computer programmers. I mean, they're making tons and tons of money, but those jobs weren't even around 50 years ago because computers weren't even around. What about digital photography? We didn't have digital photography. There's a thing that's eliminated. There's no processing of photographs anymore. You took people's pictures, you took film into a processing, you waited a week and you got pictures back. Nobody had processing, that's gone, but look at all the chemicals that we save and all the toxic, chemicals that we use for photography and so on and so forth, and bad photos. All the paper that was used, and we looked and we got 3 pictures and the rest we had to throw away. We paid for, what was it, 30 pictures back then, and we were lucky to have 3 or 4. Now you can take 5,000 pictures and it doesn't cost you a dime, and you print it off on your computer and you save yourself thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And professional photographers use digital photography, and they can take thousands of pictures and get really beautiful pictures and touch them up with Photoshop and so on. Before, they couldn't. And the products are way better than before. They're way clearer. High definition TV is just amazing now, where the old analog TV was all blurry and, grainy and so on. Now it's just amazing. So, like I said, artificial intelligence is here to stay. It's going to change in the next 5 years dramatically. But guys, be ready for it. Train for it. If your job is threatened by it, start figuring out how you're going to use it to benefit. There's probably a lot of opportunities we don't even think about to make thousands of dollars in using AI and really advancing and having great jobs and really doing well. We just can't even imagine how we're going to be using this, and search engines are going to change. The days of Google and Bing, the way we search is going to be totally different, and just the whole thing is going to be completely different. So, like I said, guys, if you are afraid of artificial intelligence, don't be. Learn it, use it to your benefit, have it help you in your job, career, your life. Don't let it take over. Don't use it as your God and say, this is going to be our God and we're going to worship it and so on. No. Use it as a tool, just like a calculator or a computer or your car or your phone. It's just another tool to use. But to sit and say it's Satan and it's going to take over the world and we're all selling our souls to AI is just crazy. There's always people who will use conspiracy theories and come up with some total nonsense and say, it's all going to take over everything. It's just like what I hear is, no, the Russians are going to use nuclear weapons against us. Hey, you know what? If they do, the party's over. All humanity will be destroyed. People know that it's just a threat because nobody's going to use nuclear war. What do they say? It's like the bombs are 100 times greater than Nagasaki. You just wipe out and destroy everything. It's like there was a movie in, I think in the early 80s. It was called War Games, where the kid in high school calls and he gets hooked up with a government computer and he thinks it's a game. And he starts playing the game, and the government computer, he doesn't know it's a government computer, and the government computer thinks that we're now at war, and it starts sending false information to the Pentagon, and they think that we're at war, and nuclear bombs are coming at us, and they're going to try to do a defense, and they find out that it's just a game, and they go in and they challenge the computer, and the guy says play tic-tac-toe, and he does all all this calculations and tries to win tic-tac-toe, and he can't. And then he says the object of the game is not to play it at all. So that's kind of what this war thing is that everybody's freaked out is the object of the game is never use it at all. It's just saying that, hey, we just got the same punch as you do, but we're going to punch each other out if we use it. So if you start hearing about this AI and all that it's terrible, it's going to destroy the world and so on, it's just fear mongering. It'll help you. It'll probably cure a lot of diseases that we can't cure. Maybe it'll cure cancer. Find a way to cure cancer. There's just a lot of really, really good things that are coming down the pike. It'll probably help you in your career. It might even take the place of college. Maybe make college a lot cheaper. So these people aren't spending $80, $90, $100,000. Maybe it'll lower the cost to $1,000 to go to college because it'll be all online with artificial intelligence. So you just pay to get access to artificial intelligence and get a degree like that, and it'd be just as good as teachers teaching you. So maybe teachers would be eliminated, but you know what? Maybe they'll find a different way of teaching, or maybe they'll program artificial intelligence to teach this way. Like I said, nobody knows. I don't know. But I think what's coming down the pike is going to be amazing, and it's just going to be just stuff that we couldn't even dream about. Like, years ago when the 60s, when Star Trek had that little thing that looked like a cell phone, and now it's reality. And we thought back then it was all science fiction and all make-believe, and now we instantaneously were texting. Like I said, we have a multi-million-dollar television studio that we can videotape. In matter of fact, we have a huge, in a little tiny cell phone. I remember my first video camera. I had to carry this huge box and almost like a massive TV camera that looks like a TV station had to videotape, and now it's all in a little tiny cell phone that records and plays games and videotapes, and you can do FaceTime and text messages and get any news all in the world. And like I said, it's just saved people tons of time and amazing amount of information we have, and it's just going to be bigger and better and help humanity way more than it has ever did. So maybe we won't have wars anymore. Maybe disease will be cured. And maybe we'll have more times to not be as prejudiced as we are, and maybe racism will be gone, and maybe diseases will be gone. Who knows? The future is just going to be incredibly amazing with technology and artificial intelligence and so on. But no, it's not going to be like the Terminator. We're not going to be slaves to robots. We'll have robots. I think in the next 10 years, everybody will have a robot that serves them, and it'll be like a vacuum cleaner. And we'll have self-driving cars. I think kids won't have driver's licenses, have operating licenses, and we'll all have cars that are owned by the government. We'll have operating licenses, and we'll just call up a car. It'll come like Uber, pick us up, and drive us to any place we want to go. And we'll all just pay a lot of this through our taxes. So we won't have we won't have to maintain a car. We won't have to own a car or any of that. We just pay whatever we pay in property taxes, and the cars will be owned by the government. They'll maintain them all, and we'll just have operating license to operate them. Who knows? Who really knows? We really don't know what the future will bring. All I know is that there's going to be a lot of good. People will definitely use it to, to benefit themselves and do illegal things and so on and so forth. So, guys, like I said, will our jobs be eliminated in real estate? Yeah, they will. So, guys, I'd start looking for different types of work in the next 5 to 10 years, because real estate agents' jobs will pretty much be gone, and there'll be a lot of other jobs that'll be gone, but be a lot of jobs created also. So, like I said, I wouldn't stress out. Just, adapt. That's about it. Just adapt to what's coming, and hopefully it'll benefit you. Well, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate your time. Have a really good day, and hopefully I got you talking about this subject, and it'll be maybe a conversation piece you can get together with friends, neighbors, relatives, and business associates, and just talk about the artificial intelligence and chat GPT and all the stuff that's coming down the pike. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the future. Bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed the show, Real Estate for the Common Man. Please follow us or subscribe. Tell your friends, neighbors, relatives, and coworkers about us. We're on all your major podcast apps: Amazon, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. If you can't remember all that, just Google it, or have your friends Google Real Estate for the Common Man, and it will come up. Again, we thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hey, if you live in Colorado Springs and want to buy or sell a home, you can look us up at soldrealestatecompany.com, as in I sold a home. Again, thank you very much. Have a very good week, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye for now.